Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is another normal game sent in by the fans to Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com. Mr. Maximus Black.
Yep.
Hit me up with the sound of getting to your hotel a little later than intended because of a delayed flight, only to find out that despite being starving, room service closed at midnight and it's 12:06.
Hey, honey, why don't you just go ahead and pass me the menu there? Oh, thank you. So what are you feeling like? They've got pizza, they've got steak, they've got chicken fingers. Hey, they can't fuck up chicken fingers, right? Oh, they get chicken fingers. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's order that. Let's get them chicken fingers. And what kind of sauce you want? You want sweet and sour?
Yes, I want sweet and sour.
Great. Let me call up these motherfuckers here. Ring. Ring. What the fuck? What the? Come on, like, I'm starving. I just traveled all day. I just want some chicken fingers and I want some fries. Please, God.
Honey?
Yeah?
Honey, did you see that they closed at midnight?
They what?
They closed at midnight. They're closed.
Fuck! Fuck this place! We should have went to the Hilton! It's 24 hours! That's what I got.
That's happened to me on more than one occasion. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Fucking get there, like, just want to get some food. You call them up. Sorry, sir, we closed 15 minutes ago. Alright, great. Do you know any places that are open locally that we could order? No, not really. They're all closed. Great. Alright, thank you.
Great. I'm gonna starve. It's all good. StarCraft is happening. Up here, we've got room service. And down here, we've got treatment. It looks like we got some proxy ghost action going here. This is marked as a normal game, but it is far from a normal game. It seems as though our man here, treatment, saw room service. And what is room service gonna bring? It's gonna bring a quick nuke, Adam. It's gonna bring a quick nuke.
He's about to turn everything into those chicken fingers that you so desperately wanted. With the sweet and sour sauce. Love me a good quick nuke in the morning. We'll see if he can pull it off. I hope he can pull it off. I mean, shit, it would be amazing if he did. I mean, anytime you see nukes, I'm a happy camper. But yes, it's been, for those who were heroes, Jeff was holding down the fort. That's a ripperino and pepperino on that. Not so much.
Yeah, he's
unfortunate for that ghost.
Yep, he's gonna die.
But I'm back! Trip was great. Go listen to the podcast. It's 3.5 hours long. You'll get everything you need to know there. And unfortunately, I looked an awful lot like that ghost when I got back to Halifax. But nevertheless, we are back on, wheels are on, and we're getting a little bit of a little spicy action. But now that nuke has been kind of denied, do you think he's going to commit with more back home, or what do you think he's going to do here?
I don't think he's got a choice. He needs to try and get off a nuke. The good news is, treatment has no idea that that's what he was teching to. If anything, this just looks like, you know, a proxy racks, but he did see the ghost. So, I mean, that is a giveaway that, you know, a potential nuke could be coming. So, yeah, I mean, I think you still get the nuke. I do like that he built, like, this bunker, and it would have been real nice for him to immediately bring down that ghost as soon as it came out from the racks. Instead, he had it sitting here, and it ended up dying. But he could have went inside there. It would have given him enough protection, at least until he got the nuke done. And then he could have, you know, cloaked himself and came and blew the shit up. But it has, it's made it so that treatment got out this robo, got a fast observer out, and I think this nuke play is, it's dead. It's dead in the water. He's fucked. I actually.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna find out, I guess, sooner rather than later. We have the Protoss spinning himself into a Stargate now. I thought he was just gonna stick to it, like, you know, once that nuke failed, you get some information. Shit, he had the 2-gate robo. I'd just build up a nice little time and attack and show up on the Terran's doorstep. But He apparently wants to move himself into Stargate, and right around the same time, we've got the Terran moving into Starport. I wonder, I mean, he could, if he holds this long enough, I guess theoretically he could do like a dropship nuke play. It's possible. But there's observers he's got to contend with now.
Correct, that's the problem, right? Is he can go ahead and drop all he wants, but there's an ops in this base, there's an ops over here. Treatment has already went and expanded now, got his natural, so he's gonna be on 2 base. Terran's on 1 base. We have the tech here. We've got Immortals out. We got some Stalkers in case of a drop. I think as long as this guy stays vigilant on scouting, making sure that a ghost doesn't screw him, it's his game to lose. Because RoomService is just super behind. And he's going to be super all in. At this point, you don't build the command center. If you're going to build a command center, you would have done it the moment that the ghost had died. And it seems as though RoomService is going to make a liar out of me and drop down a command center. So that happened.
Caster's Curse on LAGTV, baby! It's coming back, and unlike the room service that we had in our first hotel, this room service delivers. Command Center is going down here. He's going to get his expansion regardless, and I guess depending on what level of play are we looking at here, Mr. Black? What is this, like gold? Platinum? Alright, so I mean, at Platinum, can you get away with putting this down late? Abso-fucking-goddamn-lutely you can. Because the Protoss is letting them do it. Protoss really just walked up here, took a couple of shots at that original mine, killed it, and then walked away, went the fuck home. Decided that he didn't need to do any more work than that, despite having seen a ghost, which would have obviously meant there was some pretty heavy investment in a certain tech. But now the Terran's kind of set up shop. He's got himself a nice choke at the top of the base with the bunker there and a tank in position, and so the Protoss isn't going to be able to push with any real success, which means why not get a late fucking expansion, I guess, at this point. And speak of the devil, there's another ghost, so maybe it's not out of the question. But what is in right now is a carrier about to arrive, Mr. Black. Something that we've been seeing more of here on LAGTV. We went, like, when we were casting StarCraft a lot back in the day, carriers didn't make their way out very often.
No.
But these days, we're seeing carriers left, right, and center.
Yeah, it's because Protoss sucks these days. Protoss is
okay.
awful. I played quite a bit
Great.
of StarCraft while you were gone, and I can definitively say, and I know I'm biased, but this is just facts at this point. The Protoss is extremely underpowered in comparison to Terran and Zerg. It's not even close. It's
opposite of Brood War, then, eh?
Yeah, it's not even close. Like before, I would say that shit and I'd be like, there'll be some truth to it, but like I'm just bad. And yeah, I'm still just bad, but like it is factually known that Protoss right now, mid-late game, absolute ass. And just getting fucked.
Didn't Terran just get like a cyclone buff or some shit too
Couldn't
here
tell
just
you.
recently?
There was a patch, and I think it's like the first big community patch because Blizzard doesn't do it anymore. But apparently, this patch did not help out Protoss at all, and Protoss really needed help. So, yeah, I don't know if the patch went through or they're just testing it. But my game did update before I loaded up some replays. So who knows? I mean, obviously, at the platinum level, gold, platinum.
Yeah, none of this matters.
Balance is like, it's kind of whatever. Of course, when even in bronze, silver, gold, platinum, you know, there are things that you can abuse for sure. But I find that doesn't really come into play until you get to high diamond masters into GM. And then that way, then you start to really exploit very specific timings, very specific builds. And it becomes extremely hard to stop those. It requires a lot more to stop it than it does to do it. And yeah, I think that's just where we're at.
Yeah, that
right now.
And that was a big problem when they were balancing the game back in the day. You'll remember, of course, that when StarCraft is in its peak esports scene, almost all the balancing is being done for the, like, literally 20 players in the world. It's being balanced for. And you get into situations where the balancing being done for the 20 players has knock-on effects for, like, silver level, gold level, where it enables a style of play that, like you were saying, takes way more effort to stop than it does to do. But that exists only down in the lower levels because the balance that it allowed that was for, like, the 20 people playing in the fucking Star League. So yeah, it's very difficult to, I guess, balance for such a broad range of player skill, but nevertheless, RoomService is feeling mighty feisty now. He's moving out, he's got his expansion down, and I would have thought that the next attack would have been from treatment on RoomService, but we're getting more attacks coming in from RoomService on treatment.
Yeah, I'm not against this. He's only got 1 siege tank, so he really needs to be careful, but this ball here can do a shit ton of damage. He's got ghosts, so he can get off feedbacks if need. And he's backing up. He does have charge, but it's not going to really do much. There it is. There's a feedback. Even got a little snipe in there. That 1 siege tank in the back putting it work. Going to be able to get rid of this 3rd expansion, no problem. These stalkers really need to be careful, but he is bringing 2 carriers up. He needs to focus down on those medevacs and get rid of those medevacs ASAP. And
he got a good EMP in there, though.
Yeah, he did. Those carriers do damage, man. He's got 3 of them now.
Yeah, bro.
He just needs to get rid of these medevacs. Bad. And he's just not. That's
Oh,
fine.
well, he pushed him away, and now, I mean, now Terran knows that there are obviously carriers on the field. That's going to change things. You can see him starting to produce some Vikings almost immediately. Here's a nice little sneaky backdoor with some DTs, Mr. Black. And there's only, what, 1? That the only one?
No, he's got 2 command centers.
Oh, he just moved. He just moved, too.
All right.
Nevertheless, I mean, he could do annoying amounts of damage on this. Nice EMP, though.
Yeah, beautiful EMP.
Runs him off.
Get those 3 DTs out, so it was a decent save. Forced him to pick up. Did just a little bit of damage. Not bad. You know, the Warp Prism is still there. He still has the 3 DTs to go and continue to do some harassment, which I guarantee he will do, and he will do some damage with that too. But this is a pretty scary army, and I mean, 3 carriers. I'll be honest, I just really don't know.
Moving into Tempests.
Yeah. I think that these 3 carriers are gonna be fine. There's just not enough AoE. Like, there's just not enough damage here, I think, to stop these carriers. But I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, this is. I mean, an EMP will do horrific fucking damage. Here's another harassment run.
This is what's gonna kill RoomService, is these DT drops, because he's gonna keep coming back to base. This guy's now getting his 3rd. He's gonna eventually run out of scans. It's gonna be a bad time. Manages to. All right, well, he can recall. He's gonna get rid of this Ghost Academy, so the nuke is never gonna go off because he doesn't even have one. I would be recalling these. He doesn't. Unfortunately, he's gonna lose all those DTs. Did a lot of damage. I mean, he killed a lot of SCVs, got rid of the Ghost Academy, but I don't really think that's a super fair trade. Oh! Never mind, he pushed over here at the same time, but he managed to keep the command center alive. Would have been nice if we would have picked that off. I actually think that was pretty good for RoomService. I think treatment made a couple of small errors. Wasn't horrible, but lost a lot of minerals there. I think RoomService gets the slight edge on that engagement. Slight.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was pretty close to even trade there, I guess. I mean, because it's a lot of investment that Treatment's been putting into these DT drops now. I mean, he's saved 3 out of the, what, 10 that he's used thus far or more.
Yeah, but
and that's pretty expensive, right? Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, they're dying, right? So he only, so, you know, he's using a lot of resources that could be going towards more carriers, more fucking Tempests, more literally anything. Because as nice as it is to be harassing, that harassment came about 2 minutes too late because this SCV transfer had just literally happened, and so he didn't get his opportunity to get all of that economy out of those initial drops. And the second one got rid of some tech, but it wasn't important tech, and so it didn't really do a hell of a lot to slow the roll, so to speak, of RoomService. And here he is knocking on his doorstep again, considering opening up this pathway to make his life a little easier. He knows his opponent's going largely air, so he needs to be able to be a little bit more mobile on this map himself. And as Protoss is still sitting on this 3 base, I mean, he hasn't.
I think Protoss might lose.
Treatment hasn't turned. I think this is possible that Protoss loses, yeah.
Yeah, I think he loses right here. Huge EMP. And just like that, now he's stutter stepping down, killing off 2 of those carriers right now. Really no real damage on the ground now. He's spent so much in DTs, all that gas, all those minerals, and he's gonna lose all of those carriers. He warps in DTs, but scans are going off. It is gonna be still no, it's game over. It's GG.
Wow. Another huge EMP there. He had a big EMP in the last attack. Enormous one on this to allow him to get rid of all those carriers. A Tempest goes down. He can just trickle in Marines, which is what he's doing now. The mothership is about to get taken out, and that's going to be that. Wow, what a turnaround. I mean, again, platinum level. You would think that treatment after that initial catch and denial would have been able to turn that around and to get a lot more done, but he never really accomplished anything with that early game information and the pickoff of that ghost. I am shocked he did not push. He had the units, just did not push to get up there before Terran got situated and never really did anything after. It was a good idea to do the drops, but just, you know, like I was saying, I mean, 2 minutes too late, and now treatment is, well, he's getting chicken fingers delivered to his door.
Damn, he said you're blowing that lead, and he did. He had a lead early on. You know, treatment fell into the issue where he did too much teching, too quick. He just went right to carriers. I think after the failed ghost thing, he could have just got gateway units and went over and won. I mean, Terran was in some deep doo-doo butter when he first came up, and he got rid of those Widow Mines. If he would have just had more units, I think he probably could have ended the game right there, or crippled them so hard, there's just no way he could fuck this up. But instead, he decided to tech. He got an expansion. He got a few carriers, and then went and built. He probably built like 30 DTs this game. And unfortunately, he didn't use DTs correctly. Guys, if you're going to do what he did, which I'm not totally against, you need to just put in a couple of DTs, do your harassment, bait off a scan, then put in 2 more DTs, bait off a scan, run them around, bait off a scan, and you're going to keep doing this. And eventually, he's going to run out of scans. And then on that second drop, that's when you're going to do massive damage, because he's got to wait until his command centers have enough energy to do a scan. And as long as you're focused on their scan, you can even start splitting. You could have, he has no missile turrets here. You could have had 3 DTs down here, or 2 DTs down here, and 2 DTs over here. You could have took 2 DTs over here. This thing came late, and but instead he just warped in 7-8 DTs, and then just A-moved with them, and they died. He didn't get value. Problem is when you're dumping all that gas, the Terran isn't losing any units, so his army is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and your army is staying the same because you're devoting all of your minerals, all of your resources into this drop. So if you don't do massive damage, your opponent's actually getting ahead. And remember, if you kill 20 SCVs, well, cool. He's got 3 orbital commands. He's got mules. He's just going to juice up and then go counter and die. And by the time he came down here, all he had left was, what, 3, maybe 4 carriers? He could have had 7, 8 carriers instead of getting all those DTs. And then with the charge lots underneath, he could have probably just A-move and won. So it was just a matter of teching too much, getting a little too overindulgent on the DTs and not doing it correctly, and Terran just not losing anything throughout it outside of a Ghost Academy that he just rebuilt. Maybe he got 20 SCVs in total. You know, I think he might have killed an engineering bay, a 1 missile turret. That's it. So, I mean,
unfortunate. I will say, I gotta say, I'm disappointed. RoomService. He ran his fucking lips at the end of the game, made himself look like a bit of a fucking idiot at the end of the game. That was unfortunate because I wanted to sit here and just, you know, give him props for making it work, coming back from having that initial cheese kind of, if you want to call it that, barely, but yeah, he's been a bit of a fucking asshole. So get your life together, would you? Fucking just deliver the chicken strips and shut the fuck up.